No, it's not. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are we are finally here. The last game between Algernon and this Philos. Best of 5, 2v2, because there was an extension called by the Philos. So this will always be the last game. And what an interesting map. Gaia Kings. Gaia Kings, okay. And for the rest, a normal start. Map is quite interesting. We see, oh, an archer range. Archer range for both players, 2 houses. No, they started with a few houses, I think. And for the rest, quite a normal start. We have berry, stone. Oh, actually, red. All his golds are forward. 3 golds from red, all of them forwards. Meanwhile, the golds from Algernon, look at this, in the back, and bugged. So I think he already spotted that. Yeah, so he maybe make the lumber camp over here first. So you cut your gold free. But you can still take these 2 golds first. For the rest, the map seems pretty straightforward. I don't know if they started with a king. It might be that they started without a king and there were just random Gaia kings on the map. So even if they lose the kings, I don't think they will lose the game because this didn't start as a regicide. So we looked at the map, let's look at the civs. We have Slavs versus Huns. Slavs versus Huns. Who would you prefer? Huns, of course, very strong, very versatile civilization. Slavs might be stronger here. I just feel Slavs. Oh, the food bonus, like the faster fucking farmers are just so incredibly OP. You can get so fast to the castle age. Okay, game speeding up a bit. Yeah, look at that, even more Gaia King scout fight over here. Let's see who wins it. Looks like Algernon might win. Yeah, Algernon's going to win the scout fight, which is pretty important. And that's the dead villager. Algernon was probably microing a scout and he lost 1 villager. He's already 0-2 kill death because he also lost 1 of the kings. Oh yeah, actually, it's true. Houses as the Huns. Let's look at his population. Oh, still 200. Maybe we were hoping for it to bug out and suddenly having 215 population. So yeah, the kings, you might be thinking like how stupid it is that they can find Gaia kings, but these kings are incredible scouts. Look at that. Red will see everything from Algernon's base. He will see the bug gold, he will see the small gold in the bag, he will see the stone. These kings are scouting machines. So what would be the proper play here? I feel like Slavs might be stronger a bit later on in the game. Could go for a bit stronger boom because they need less villagers on farms to get the food coming in. I'm maybe expecting both players to go fuel scouts and the Hun player might transition into archers. Don't know if it's a good idea for the Slavs to go into archers. Let me check the crossbow and the castle age for the Slavs. Do get the defense and the upgrades, but they don't get tumbling. Okay, so crossbows, like going into archers in the feudal age and then into crossbows, might not be the correct play here for the Slavs, especially since the Hun crossbows are so strong. So what I'm expecting, the Hun player scouts into crossbows, into cav archers maybe, and Slavs Algernon, well, he's going for a fast uptime. Going for a really fast uptime actually. Why is he already gone gold? Why is he already... Is he going straight into archers? No, come on now. Don't tell me he's going straight into archers. Like, of course, you have the archery range already, but still. I don't think that's a correct play here. I mean, he is up really early, and he might be able to get a few archers out to the base of red. But I don't know, I think Slavs, why not make farms, man? Why not use the strong economy from the Slavs to your advantage? Maybe he wants to try and get to the village so much faster before red, and hope that he can get the archers out faster to keep red off of the gold, because he does know about all of the forward golds from the red player. So maybe that's his plan, go straight feudal into archers because he already had the archer range, and then try to keep your opponent off of gold so he cannot go into archers himself. Yeah, it seems like that's the play here from Algernon. He's in the feudal age, 90 population, meanwhile red 22 vills and still in the dark age. So what I can understand that you want to go straight archers because you start with a range, but I still feel like scouts could be so strong. Especially early on, you need to mass up so many archers before they can fight against scouts. Okay, Algernon getting quite housed here, forcing up 2 houses at the same time. Still only has 1 archer out. And there we go, now the feudal age coming in for red. Let's see. Yeah, red immediately starting to add in archers as well. And even with that fast uptime, Algernon only has 2 archers more than red. So was it worth it? Was it worth it for Algernon to go up so fast to the feudal age? Blacksmith and a barrack, so looks like the players cannot add in the archer range even though they started with 1. Or maybe red is expecting scouts and wants some defensive spearmen. Like, I'm not 100% sure. I think red still needed to make the barracks before he could make the archer range, even though he started with an archer range. And red even has 4 kings, but those kings, they only take up pop space, but of course he's hunts, so he doesn't need to make houses, so it's not that bad. But yeah, what? Algernon. Why oh why did you go up so early? Also saw 1 boar trapped. And the same for red, also the boar inside the wood line. Yeah, second archer range up for red. So he will go 2 ranges into archers. Algernon will have enough archers to defend, but he needs to transition into something else in the castle age, because castle age crossbows from the Slavs are way weaker than the crossbows from the hunt player, since the Slavs do not get Ring. Which means that in the castle age, Algernon will probably go into knights. But if you go into knights in the castle age, well, if you have to go into knights in the castle age, why not add in a few scouts early feudal? Get like bloodlines, so you already have those upgrades for the castle age. Okay, nice walls here. So he did see the archers because they ran into the fog of war from the houses. Desperately makes some quick walls, walling towards STC here. He's sending all of his army back. I think he should have just sent like his skirms back and kept his archers forward. See that the game is speeding up a bit. Sorry about that. Could be that the players are going to call a race sometime. I mean a pause, a small pause or something. Okay, good pick off from Algernon. I think he didn't lose a single unit. So I think he... No, he did lose a unit there in that one fight. I think... Is that the only king for Algernon? Oh my god, look at this. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky tower. And he can see it. Algernon! Algernon is not reacting. He's not spawning it. He is not expecting this tower. And that tower is a beautiful spot. Denying the main gold. Denying that wood line. That's a great spot for a tower from red. Now, Algernon is in. Algernon is in. Might pick up a few villagers, but the red is going full skirms. And what would be nice versus full skirm? A few scouts. Algernon not spotting this. He is not spotting this. Let's go to his view log. Okay, there we go. Now, just when I go onto view log, he notices. He's sending his archers back home. But why would you send the archers back home? They cannot really fight versus this tower. Why not stay forward? He wants to maybe keep his army alive because he's on the way to castle and he's going to get crossbow and range upgrades, but then he could still stay quite forward here. Just keep your army like over here. When you reach castle, get the upgrades and then go back into the economy from your opponents. Being housed, making a house with only one villager, still no stable. I would love to see a stable from Algernon right about now. Add in 1 or 2 knights, they can clean up all those skirmishers. 1 knight will clean up all these skirmishers and then the archers and skirmishers can kill some villagers. But yeah, because Algernon is playing defensively, he will allow red to make a defensive tower on his gold. And red is really heavy on stone. Extremely heavy on stone. He's selling the stone. Good idea, buying the food and clicking up to the castle age as well. Yeah, Algernon, most armies 16, might pick up the villagers here. Going forwards. Forward siege workshop. Could be forward siege workshop. But it could be denied by these skirmishers. Getting crossbow, getting botkin arrow, and yes, a forward siege workshop from Algernon. He's going to go heavy aggression again. There are the skirms. There are the skirms. Well, crossbow came in just in time, so now he can actually fight this just because he has a 1 rage advantage. He just needs to hit and run, hit and run, hit and run. And oh, nice move here, taking the hill. So red can not really engage this because of 4+2 range versus only 4+1 range. Look at this, even a university coming up. That's a building that we haven't seen Algernon make too much in this series. So he's going for the university, probably early ballistics. And yeah, what will he follow up with? It's going heavy 1 town center again. Mangonels. Go, a lot of army. 2 stables from red. So red will go into knights instead of carve archers. Red will go into knights, it looks like. It's not giving anything up. Red, you're in the castle age. Oh, he doesn't have the food, sorry. He doesn't have the food. And oh my god, again Algernon going back home with his villagers. Keep some villagers forward, even if it's only 1 chick. Keep her forward so she can repair mangonel. And oh, like I saw that red was collecting a lot of stone, but I was just thinking that it was for defensive towers and maybe selling some resources, but actually going for a castle. He wants to go into Tarkans. I think it would have been better if he went just normal knights or normal cav archers. Like his economy is so far behind because he invested so many villagers taking the stone. I get on On one side I can understand it because all of his goals are forward and maybe he wanted to push the castle forward to protect the goals, but this castle is only protecting these 2 tiles. And that was really costly there, Algernon letting the mangonel die versus the tower. Even though he had 3 villagers nearby to repair it. It's a bit sloppy from Algernon. Okay, what Algernon needs to do now? He needs to keep 1 unit over here. Keep 1 unit over here. So you can see when Red tries to take this gold and you can pressure him. And then go with your army on this end side. So this gold is about to run out. It's only 2 tiles. So it's only like, well, a bit over 1k. So I would keep 1 unit over here to see the line of sight, to see if he's taking that gold. Then I would go around and try to hit his economy from the left hand side. And now Algernon is going into Imperial Age. He's going into Imperial Age and he only has crossbows and skirmishers. And in Imperial Age, no arbalest for Slavs. So what will he go for? What will he go for in the Castle Age? He could go for Cavalier, but then he needs stables, he needs bloodlines, he needs all those feudal and Castle Age upgrades on his knights. And he might actually lose the fight here. If Red can pick up the mangonel with the knights, then those skirmishers will push back that army from Algernon. It's not really doing a lot of damage. Red going to 2 town centers, and a castle to defend his economy. 41 villagers versus 43 from Algernon. Come, send out the knight, kill the mangonel. Red, send it out. Yeah, there we go. And that's rip to the forward from Algernon, because now the skirmishers are going in, and you don't want to fight crossbow versus skirmishers. What is the plan for Algernon? Yeah, I'm not seeing him transitioning into any units. Still only 1 range. No military production buildings. What will the Imperial Age give him? Why aren't you going to more town centers? If you go 1 TC, you need to go heavy aggressive. What will he go for in the Imperial Age? Look at the resources. Well, his economy is a bit low because, of course, if you go fast imp, you don't have enough villagers, your economy will be stretching. And now he's trying to go for a castle. He only has 400 stone. Okay, a monk to convert knights potentially. Look at the micro. Good attack round. Really good attack round from Red here. And 1 HP, and that shot did nothing. That shot did nothing to the mangonel. That was Hex. Sure, one of those small rocks must have hit the mangonel and do some damage. And the only reason... Oh, yeah. Mangonel going to get picked off here. Convert. I really need some knights. To deal with the skirmisher there. So he's going for the fast, but he's been into Imperial Age for so long. Why would you click up so early? He should have waited a bit to click up. Waited a bit longer. And then click up to Imperial Age with a bit more economy, and while you're upping to Imperial Age, you make the castle. If you make the castle while you're going up to Imperial Age, then when you hit Imperial Age, you will have the castle up and you will be able to make trebuchets. Because now he's been into Imperial Age for so long, what has it given him? The Imperial Age upgrades so far has done nothing for him. Chemistry coming in for Algernon. Yeah, he doesn't get hand cannon. Why is he getting chemistry? Yeah, some strange decisions by Algernon. Of course, Fort Castle is in a good spot. It does deny this main gold from Red. So maybe he's trying to starve his opponent off of gold. But then he also needs to keep an eye on this gold on the left hand side here. Seems to be some extra golds on the map, but they are unable to be reached by the players. So what I feel like is that Algernon went for the strategy, the fast Imperial and the Trebuchet, just to deny the gold from his opponent. That was the only reason he went for it. And now we'll see if it works out. Because Red is 58 population. He did spend most of his food on army, on the skirmishers, on the knights, on a lot of upgrades. But his economy is looking a lot stronger. And if he can hold, which is going to be hard since he doesn't have enough stone to repair it, and this other stone pile is forward as well. Oh, castle fire. 8+2 range. 8+2 range, which outranges the mangonel. And now look at this. This is good for Algernon, repairing the trebuchet. Well played, Algernon. Repairing this trebuchet, really important. And yeah, Red, I don't know. He's holding. He knows he has a better economy. He just needs to hold. But look at the villager difference, 52 versus 59. And yeah, again, GG being called quite earlier. That's, I don't know, man. That game was so weird for me. So many weird decisions. Huns and Slavs, and nobody went for scouts. Algernon going for crossbows, and then going for an Imperial Age. Like, his best army were crossbows. Malian crossbows in the Imperial Age. Slav crossbows in the Imperial Age, sorry. They don't get Tumbering, they don't get Arbalest. What a weird game. But, yeah, I liked it all. Oh man, Hank, screw you. I was really confused here. All those decisions were so strange. Free archer range still beats scout rush. I don't really agree. Like, when Red was in the feudal age, Algernon had two archers. Two archers. If he went scouts, like you say, he had a range up. He could add in some skirms. I don't agree. Like, but also the reason why I was saying going to scouts was for the later game. Like, for example, the Slavs, they have horrible archer line, so you need to go into a cavalry unit eventually. So if you go and add in some scouts, get the blood climbs upgrade, you already have the upgrades for Castle Age. And Castle Age, you could have gone with some knights and then get the upgrades for those. Like, yeah, maybe it was. I think I would have made the range, used the range to make some skirmishers and scouts. I would go for skirms and scouts. That's what I would have done. And then the skirmishers will counter the archers and the potential spearmen, and I can just go and raid with the scouts. Because I knew where all of the resources were. The map was quite open on the left hand side here. And same for Red. But yeah, they went for different strategies, and Algernon ended up winning the game. Look here, killed there 15-15, quite even. Military also quite even. Yeah, really close game. And yeah, Red was on 2 town centers the entire time and only 8 villager lead. Also strange for him to go heavy onto stone for that defensive castle, which didn't really protect anything.